University Southwest is a tough place to play. They've got a good gym, a nice atmosphere. They had a lot of students and other athletic teams supporting them, and so it's always going to be a tough place to get a win. And so we're really happy that we were able to go on the road and start the year off 1-0 in conference. We did a lot of good things. We hit the ball hard. Sometimes that was negative to us because we hit a lot of balls out of bounds, but I think it wore them down a little bit as the match went along. Alicia Blanco was one of those players. She ended up with 22 kills, set her career high, and was the Red River Athletic Conference Player of the Week. And one of those reasons is because she went in there swinging every time. And it turned into positives for us, and we were able to pull out that tough win in 5. You know, it just shows that this conference, on any day, anybody can beat any team. It's a wide open conference. There's really no favorites. It's going to be whoever shows up on every night, and we're just going to have to come and practice and work and be ready to play every time we put on our uniforms. We would love to have just a great crowd. And 3 tough home games. I believe Wiley was top 4 in conference last year, and we've seen Jarvis play this year already, and they're athletic, and they're going to provide a good test for us on Saturday. We just want as many fans as we can get out, and even more importantly, our last match against Wesleyan. Even though we beat Texas Wesleyan earlier this season, that's their only loss to an NAIA school is to us, and so we know they're a good team, and they're going to come ready to play. So we need all the fan support we can get to have a successful weekend.
Like I said earlier, a big positive was the fact that collectively we got a good team performance, not just from the players on the field, but from players coming off the bench. Didn't lose control of a game. We actually, when we needed a little bit of lift and energy and better composure on the ball, the players came off the bench, gave that to us. The 2 teams were completely different. Mid-America Christian, I thought, was a lot more dynamic team, but played through certain individuals, and we were able to nullify those individuals and force them to play into other areas where they weren't as strong, and then press the ball, win the ball back. And I think we did a good job of, once we got the ball, getting it forward and keeping it and managing the game pretty well. On top of that, we got a pretty good dynamic presence from some changes that we've made in the lineup, bringing Sebastian Luer and Adrian Delgado out in the wide areas. I thought that both of them had really good movement off the ball. They were really good about connecting with the other players and keeping us playing. And most importantly, they were dangerous when they got near the goal. And that was something that we needed to be, that we hadn't been in the first 2 games of the season, was consistently dangerous from those players in those wide areas. We had more shots that were going to the goal, and then more shots out of the ones that went to goal in the back of the net. The second game, there's a different group. Oklahoma City's always been a tough game for us. They have a lot of international players. They're very well balanced across the board, work very hard, are very opportunistic likewise. So it would take a tougher mentality from us, because it wasn't certainly dealing with a few individuals. It was as a team, guys that were going to be willing to get numbers up the field and numbers back very quickly. They come with a great work ethic. So you have to be willing to outwork them, which mentally has always been a challenge for teams that we've had in the past. I know they beat St. Mary's, and St. Mary's beat us. So I think that in itself sets the challenge for us and a bar very high. And we have an opponent that beat an opponent that beat us. So we obviously need our best effort.
So I thought it was a decent showing against Mid-America Christian. Almost everyone got on. I think everybody got on that we took on the trip. Got to see some good things. I thought we controlled the game well, created a lot of opportunities. Unfortunately, our Achilles heel, is continuing to hold us back, and we're not being able to finish as consistently as I feel we should. When you limit a team to 4 total shots in Mid-America Christian, and none of them really challenging our goalkeepers, and we have the run of the play, we're still not as productive as we should be in those instances. And unfortunately, against Oklahoma City, it came back to haunt us. I thought we did well after settling down after the first 10 minutes or so, and controlled the pace of the game, created a lot of opportunities, and we just weren't able to find find the one to take us over the hump, and you know, ultimately let them hang around, and with 34 seconds left, they find the game winner in overtime. So it was unfortunate, you know. I thought in both games our defense was strong, was solid, until we sorted out the game plan against Oklahoma City. We struggled a little bit on dealing with service, but once we got it down, they became more predictable, and we were able to deal with the circumstances a little bit better. You know, against these two teams we haven't really seen in a long time, Mary Hardin-Baylor, this will be actually our first game against Mary Hardin-Baylor. Concordia, we haven't seen them in a while, a few years, but I think 2013 was the last time we saw them, and they gave us some problems. So, you know, again, not letting teams hang around, making sure that we're putting attention to detail in from the middle to final third, and trying to be as impactful to the game as we can. I think a lot of it comes down to confidence. So, you know, over the course of the last few weeks, it's been repetition. You know, without pressure, with pressure, just trying to get some type of confidence going with our attacking players. And then, you know, when we look at Mary Hardin-Baylor, not knowing what to expect, it's just going to go out there and put forth the best effort that we can. You know, looking at some of the results they've had thus far, I think it will be a decent game. I know they're going to be athletic, they're going to be aggressive, so we need to be able to match that level of intensity. And as I said before, it all starts with the mental process.